Next presentation in this session is titled BIM Strategy in the CPK project. It's a series of two presentations on the Central Communication Hub. The first introductory presentation will be by Michał Latała, CPK Poland, on BIM strategy in CPK. Everybody, welcome very warmly. My name is Michał Latała, and I'm head of BIM team in the railway division of Central Communication Hub, but I'm also leader of the whole BIM project in the Central Communication Hub. Today, I would like to invite you to the presentation of BIM strategy in the Solidarity Communication Hub. As you know, the CPK, it is the first large investment project for years. An airport combined with construction and reconstruction of Polish railways. It is a really large infrastructural project. And 4 pillars actually are forming this project. So the railway node, the railway program telling us about the planned many railway lines, high-speed railways included, and road transport, which has to be modified, rebuilt around it, and utilization of infrastructure around the airport. Whereas today, I would like to first of all focus on the airport and railway, although the topic being BIM in CPK is related to all its aspects, and therefore everything is supported by BIM methodology. Here you can see the concept, or visualization rather, of the CPK terminal, but I would like to say that the design of the airport will comprise many master designers, including master planner, master architect, master civil engineer, and so on and so forth. Master architect will be dealing with the buildings. Master civil engineer will be actually in charge of runways and roads, access roads to the airport. And they have to cooperate. They have to exchange data. The data must be stored in one location, one repository. So therefore, BIM methodology is absolutely necessary here in order to communicate all those or to link all those designers. They have to be talking one language. They have to be communicating and working on a mutual platform. And therefore, the Solidarity Central Hub is investing in BIM strategy, because it will all be supported by BIM methodology. Otherwise, it would really be very difficult to design and build this airport. Further on, we have railways. We have 1,800 kilometers of new railway lines to be designed and built. And here, I would focus more on the stage breakdown, where our contractors will be changing on various stages. In designing, we already we are running 8 projects already. The technical, economical, and environmental study, which leads to multi-criteria analysis and choosing the right option for choosing the route. And further on, we have the spatial and program concept and design and as-built documentation. And then we have managing infrastructure for maintenance of infrastructure. We have what will be the stage after building. And further on here, In order for all this to have its continuity in the right way, everything will be supported by BIM methodology. We will be directing requirements towards contractors, greater and greater requirements, although in detail you will hear about this from my colleagues from Jacek and Patrick, who will be telling you more about the railway projects which are already in progress. What else can I add here? Well, it seems to me that the Solidarity Central Hub, as an ordering party, has a very high level of awareness of BIM methodology. And it is also significant that this methodology as such is not a requirement by itself. Rather than that, it is a support to project or designing requirements. We determine more standard structures for exchange of information, whereas scope of everything results from the scope of design requirements. And so the chief main document in CPK regarding BIM is, of course, organizational information requirements of CPK, where we have an outline of the framework. This document is in cohesion with other superior documents determining the system of work, designing system managing the projects. Whereas the OIR comprises the proper goal of this document, then there are objectives of BIM methodology we want to be fulfilled during the proceeding of the projects, but not only. BIM methodology serves the purpose of well, at obtaining, processing, and managing construction or building information. So not only on projects, but where we process some construction information, this methodology should also be there. And further on, we have the ways of implementation of the goals and two very important points: structure of BIM teams and structure of BIM documentation. So how it will be structured in the company. Further on, we have the chapter on cases of using BIM. It is more strategy rather than description of cases, and evaluation of the implementation. Evaluation is a very important, significant thing, because we have to all the time, well, perhaps not control, but look, trying to see if for sure nobody is trying to bypass this methodology, if really processes are implemented in line with this methodology, so that later on we do not lose history of implementation at some place. Because if somebody would bypass this system, then there might be information which would disappear, which would not have been recorded. So such evaluation leads not only to control, but also to improvement, because if something really does not work, attention has to be paid at it, and perhaps the process has to be modified so that it is better fitted, it works better. I also have learned quite a lot at the Solidarity Central Communication Hub, among others, the fact that BIM methodology by itself must not be a requirement, it must be a support for projects, that's for once. And secondly, support for, well, BIM teams in the Central Communication Hub have to be well, we place quite a lot of stress on the support for contractors, because this methodology is not so broadly known and common. And besides that, even if it is in place at the given contractors, then terminology is ours. I mean, naming the files, for example, and our data exchange platform. So here we also have to support contractors very strongly. That much today. Thank you for your kind attention, and I would like to very strongly invite you to the presentation by my colleagues. That means Jacek Filipiuk and Patrick Jacques, who will tell you more in detail about what is happening on those railway projects and a little bit more about the strategy of the railway division. Yes, we are already running some of those projects. Several months have passed, so we are also more and more experienced. Well, thank you very much for having invited me, and I do hope to hear you and to see you soon. And I will be able to tell you more and more about what is happening in BIM methodology in CPK. See you. Thank you, Michał. Of course, we are very interested in how BIM is developing in the Solidarity Central Communication Hub.